it is a given. Bull riding is a dangerous sport.
Loosen up. What a move. Look out, boys. He knocked the dog shit out of him. Open the gate.
309 times. The Oregon Bull is going to go to the ground.
Frost.
Oh, probably the defining moment in my life when you talk about, getting into the sport is when I was probably, might have been 6th grade, 7th grade. We just started getting on some smaller bulls, and my dad went and bought me this practice bull. Little Coriani bull. He came out, bucked me off pretty quick, and he kind of rolled by me and just butted me. Like, didn't hurt me. I'm bawling my eyes out, and my dad ran over there and he grabbed me by the shirt collar and he said, if you're gonna be a bull rider, you gotta think you're Iron Man. These bulls are gonna buck you off, run you over, break every bone in your body, and you're gonna get up and walk out of the arena. And if you're not okay with that, you need to quit riding bulls today. And that day, it just flipped a switch in my mind that it's like, okay, like if I'm gonna do this, like that's the attitude you've gotta have. Like it don't matter what they do to you, it's not gonna hurt, and you're gonna get up and be excited and craving another bucker. And I feel like that's kind of the attitude I've had ever since then, and it's, you've got to let it all hang out every time you nod your head if you want to be the world champion.
Never give up on your dreams, I guess. I mean, that's the way I go about it. And at the top of every mountain is the bottom of the next, and to keep climbing. And this is a little setback, and I'll be back here next year, guys. Don't worry.
Congratulations, we love you.
Thank you.
Coming down to these last few weeks, I got to get some more rodeos so that Extreme Bulls money can count. I've only been to like 32, I think, so it's all right, but there's a little bit of pressure that I put on myself, not rodeoing quite as hard.
We welcome everybody out here. It is time right now to get things underway in our 6th playoff series right here in Puyallup.
I'll tell you what, it's 24 of the best cowboys and cowgirls in pro rodeo vying their way towards $600,000. What happens this weekend will change the face of rodeo next week and ultimately decide who goes to the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo in Las Vegas, Nevada. One more question.
The amount of money that's in rodeo now, it's more of a business. That's where staying healthy, being prepared, knowing what's ahead of you, and preparing for that. You can win a lot of money, and that sets you up for the future.
And whoever's hot going into this month usually wins the most money. Regardless of whether you're on the outside or on the inside I feel like you have to keep going because you're never safe, and then outside you're just trying to break into it.
The bull riding the last pretty much month and a half, 2 months, that's when it's game time. That's when the most money's on the line. You get hot at certain times and go out at the right places. You can win. I've won $46,000 in one night in the Extreme Bulls at Ellensburg. So there's life-changing money available, and it's just awesome to see a sport of this size to where you got guys that are with 30th place or even lower that have an opportunity to even jump up and make it to the NFRs.
Missouri bull rider Green Young, one of my favorite bulls from Bridwell. This one called Louisiana Light Baby. They split the win in Redding, California on this bull, so I know he is rideable. But that's where it's going to happen. I don't like that. That bull stomped right on his legs when he hit the ground. Please wish him the best of luck. My goodness.
Bull riding is probably one of the most physical sports. We've got a lot of injuries, and it's harder to win money in the bull riding. They say if you stay on, you're going to win a check. But staying on sometimes the hardest part.
First thing I remember wanting to be was a bull rider, and so as little kids, that's what we played, bull riding. We watched bull riding, and once we got big enough to start riding stuff, it worked out good. We lived on a farm, and so my dad went and found us some Holstein calves, and that was what we started out on. 8 seconds can seem like a really long time when you're on the back of a bull, to where there's times you'll feel like you've been on, there's times I get bucked off and I'll feel like I was on the bull for a long time and made all these moves, and I'll look up and the clock will say like 4.5, and it's like, holy cow. But it's also one, when you're locked in that zone and you make the whistle, it seems like a blink of an eye.
You are watching history be made.
It's just, you're not thinking, it's all reaction, and you're locked in and you hear the whistle and step off on your feet. It's that easy.
Definitely seen my fair share of injuries. He's been in the hospital several weeks at a time and had to fly out and be there for him, but it's just part of it, and I guess you deal with it as it comes, and it's just part of the sport. But I try to be supportive and try not to think about the injuries too much and just think about being there for him and being his support system.
From what I've seen, when people have babies, they tend to ride better or ride worse, and I think besides the shoulder being a little banged up, like I feel like my motivation's higher than ever, just for the, you know, when I had a wife, I feel like I had a family to provide for, but now I see this new baby girl and know that, you know, this is my chance to set her up to have a great future. And so you only got a short period of time to ride bulls, and so the next couple years I've got to be competitive at this level. I'm going to take advantage of it.
Yeah, I'd love for her to be a breakaway roper. I think we dodged the bullet with the bull riding when we had a girl, so that's a pretty good thing for us.
My wife breakaway ropes quite a bit. My sister's a breakaway roper, and bull riding's definitely my #1 event. But if I was as good at roping calves as I was at riding bulls, I might be a full-time calf roper. So I got a pretty special place in my heart for calf horses in general, and so it's something I'm looking forward to.
I guess I just never thought I would be here. I actually went and watched the NFR with my dad as a fan in 2014, and I just never envisioned I'm from Canada, so I never envisioned I'd move to the States, marry an NFR bull rider, and be living this life. I just really never envisioned it going this way, but it's pretty amazing. Pretty much here in the middle of nowhere, but like you said, it's so quiet, so peaceful. I love to go on walks with Mavie, and just any day that we're out working with the cows and on horses, it just makes me so happy, and I just love to be riding with my family, and now with Mavie. It scares Josh a little bit when I ride with her with me, but we still get it done.
You know, as a kid growing up, there was a little more pressure because I'd show up to the rodeo and everybody knew we were the last name Frost, and so there was this expectation that you're supposed to be good.
A 90-point ride, ladies and gentlemen, Joe Frost.
So Lane Frost's going to ride it.
He's going to get him.
Here's the changeup. He's not going to quit. Lane Frost is going to come from right. Look out, look out.
Boy, he really came down not on top of Lane, but he's up and all right.
It's a two-man race. He knows what he's done.
Clyde Frost of La Pointe, Utah. It's a rough business, and they're contesting for the championship of the world.
Like when you're 7 years old, I'm like, man, I'm just as scared as the rest of you guys. But it was the reason we were good wasn't because our last name was Frost. It was because, you know, we practiced at the house, and Dad said if we couldn't stay on in the practice bin, there was no reason to go to the rodeo, and so we'd always put in the work. And so, you know, by the time I got into high school, I was, you know, starting to own the last name, and it wasn't something that bothered me or, you know, made me feel any pressure to where, you know, when I was a kid, I remember there being a little pressure because of it, but it's something I really appreciate and think it's really cool to be a part of the Frost family legacy. And, you know, Lane was one of the greatest to ever do it. My older brother was the same, and now I'm, you know, on my path to being as great as I can be also.
Champion, Josh Frost, your average winner in the bull riding.
I mean, it's the ultimate goal. Like it said, the average buckle's really cool. It's the one I wear, but it's, you know, that's why we do it, is to be the world champion. It's something I've worked really hard for, and winning second 3 years in a row stings a little bit because it's being so close to accomplishing your goal but not quite getting it. And you know, I'm still very appreciative of everything I've accomplished, and you know, you hate winning second, but it's also the guy that was sitting 100th in the world would probably be really happy to end up second. So I just try to learn from every experience, and each year I've been there, I feel like it's made me a better bull rider. And in my opinion, it's only a matter of time before I get that gold buckle. And so we're just, every time, why I do it is to be the best, and you get that gold buckle, they only give one of those away a year. And so it's to be so close 3 times and had to work super hard to get to second. We put in even more work and looking forwards to coming out on top. And it's hard to know exactly how it's going to feel, but it's something I'm looking forwards to.